What's up, man? We back. Y'all like, but y'all got the same clothes on.
I ain't even thought about that. We could have taken a smoke break.
We doing another take. You know what I'm saying? We gon' her time is precious, so I'm taking advantage of this, and I'm gonna get all I can out of her. And this is my girl Toya,
I mean, what's up, y'all? I'm Toya.
and she reminded me on the last clip that was something I wanted to discuss, and it was I've talked about this before with a few friends of mine, and we was talking about just being single, and you know, I've heard people, you know, talking about, oh, I'm single, I don't have nobody, blah, blah, blah. Or they tell me, oh, it's not that bad. You can do this, you can do that. And it's all, they give some good tips and good advice. One thing about it, though, is I am single. I am the only person in my house. Whereas in these individuals, they have kids, or they have a dog, or they have their parents or friends, cousins, aunties, or roommates living with them. So they're not physically by themselves when they're home. And so I think I talked about this in some previous videos. I'm going to let y'all hear from somebody else. I haven't even prepped her on it. I asked her this question like a couple, you see, she brought it back up to me. I kind of forgot about it. I'm going to just let her rant about it, see what she says, if it aligns with anything that I think or I agree with.
Okay, but what is your question specifically?
Like, is there a difference, like, when people talk about being single versus, you know, like I said, people that have kids and all of that, and then individuals like ourselves, do you really think that there is a difference, like, far as just, like, in any aspect of life, dating, just living everyday life, or what?
I think that, yeah, there's a difference because you don't have any other distractions.
Okay.
Like, it's just you. You know, it's you're alone with your thoughts.
Is that good or bad?
It could be a great thing.
True.
If you are comfortable with being alone. If you're comfortable with being alone with your thoughts. If you're mentally stable. And if you're not, if you are taking the right precautions to help you, you know, cope and healthy coping mechanisms. Like, you know, that plays a factor. But if you're by yourself, and being by yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you're lonely either.
That's true.
You know, because I enjoy when I'm by myself, because when I'm not by myself, then I'm around other people and I'm talking, or
you always talking too.
Because people like to listen to me. Or I am listening to someone, and so that I can be able to, you know, help them, or just listening to their experiences, and so that I can learn, or they're giving me advice, or just, you know, enjoying or taking in a moment. So when I'm not with people, then I actually enjoy being by myself. But that's me. It works for me. I love to read. I love to write. I just started coloring, like an adult coloring books.
And you want to sit here and throw all these shots about me being a little kid, and this grown person over here got some coloring books. It's all good, though. I
said adult coloring books. I said that. Keyword, adult. But even if I want to color Mickey Mouse, that's my business. At the end of the day, I'm not bothering nobody. It keeps me in tune with my creative side. So, you know, even if it's doing a puzzle or read, I don't know, organizing, there's always something that I can do to kind of like help me decompress from like a week, a day, maybe, something that I have that may have occurred or that I'm thinking about. I can do that in my downtime by myself. But that works for me. Mm-hmm. If you don't like, being alone, then that can be a challenge to someone else. And so I feel like we should give each person their own just due in that respect, because even I'll use the pandemic as an example. People are like, why can't you just stay at home? Why can't you just stay at home? Mm-hmm. Well, everybody is at home, and quarantine situation is different. Everybody's mental health is different. So it looks different. It feels different for every individual. So it's not a right or wrong answer. It's just what works for me.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. Yep.
I mean, are you okay? Because I thought I was the one that was tired. Yeah, hell, I thought I was gonna have to shock you.
No, I'm good. I
Okay.
just don't have, like I said, I've said my piece on this topic a lot, especially probably like last year, probably about this time last year, talking to different people and talking about dating and being single. I'm just like, it's not the same. You got a leg up on me, you know.
In a good way?
Like you said, it depends. Some days, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, some days I might want some interaction.
Right.
And it's not there.
Right, I get that.
So, whereas if I had a daughter, or if I had you know what I'm saying, another individual, whoever that may be, even animal at that point, I don't feel compelled to try to go out and find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Man, let me hit this dating grind a little harder. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, but
see, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that also is like you're making a choice to do that. To me, if you have a child, that child is there. You don't pick and choose when you can pull them out, when you can put them up.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And so that for me is the difference. Like if I want companionship or I want to be around somebody, then I can create a space or look for a space to have that.
Right.
But if I get a pet, and I'm not really crazy about pets. People can tell you. I'm not crazy about nothing that don't walk and talk at the same time. So I may feel like today I want a cute little chihuahua, but then tomorrow I'll be like, this chihuahua was cute at the pet store, but you gotta go back. You know, and sometimes even with being in a relationship or being around somebody, it's like, okay, do I really want to do this?
Right. I used to have them thoughts too.
You know,
like I said, I be thinking
lot.
about it. I was like, but I can't take them back though.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, because then you start thinking, like, you know, it's like, I want to have that companionship, but then it's that also a part of, like, I like to get up and go. You know, I like to be able to come back when I come back and see you when I see you.
Yeah.
And if I'm with somebody and if that person cares enough about me, they're going to be like, well, when you coming back? And I'm be like, you know, and I have to do that because I agreed to this, you know.
And I guess for me, I was like, I guess what you call a serial monogamous. Mm-hmm. And so this, like the last 2 years has been the longest I've been single.
Oh, okay.
Like I've been single, but like not in any kind of relationship. So I haven't experienced this freedom. This is new to me. Okay. So it's like strange, you know, it's like you say, I won't know what I have in being single until I get into another relationship.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm being for real because coming off of what I came off of and then entertaining the idea of, I'm like, whew.
Do I really want to do
this?
That's
scary.
Right.
That's some scary stuff.
I think about it sometimes and I'm like, bro, you can like just, you know what I'm saying, you can lay in the bed all day, get up, eat some Cocoa Pebbles and get back in the bed. And you don't have nobody talk about let's go here, or I need to run by this so-and-so's house. You know, it's like little small stuff.
Yeah, but but just like everything, it's always pros and cons.
Exactly.
And if you really want something, then the pros definitely would outweigh the cons.
So, but piggybacking off of the last episode, we kind of ended giving some tips. I said topics. Ended giving some tips. My mind is legitimately blank right now. Mm-hmm, what were those tips about?
Okay, so then what is something that you do ask somebody when you're getting to know them? Like, what are the important things for you in like the beginning? Let's just say the top 5 things. They're necessarily not like, okay, let me ask you this, and this, and that, you know, very stern and like, you know, formal way. But as you're getting to know someone, it's like, okay, let me ask this, and then, you know, that may have answered 2 questions or whatever. What are like some things that, okay, after obviously there's attraction, there's, you know, this person is stable as far as, you know, they work, they can take care of themselves, and those, you know, couple of things. Then what else? Like, what is the next layer of things that you start like doing a mental checklist of? can I see myself dating this person?
It depends on the person. It just depends on where you're at in life.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, why you put me on the spot?
Because, fool, that's what I'm talking to.
Don't put me on the spot. You supposed to ask me general questions. Me, myself, what am I looking for? Emotional health.
Okay.
That's like, do you own whatever trauma you've had in your life? Have you faced it? Have you dealt with it? Any other trauma that have come stemming from that trauma?
Mm-hmm.
Have you dealt with it? Have you owned it? Have you worked through it?
Okay.
Because they ain't got time for nobody projecting.
Okay.
But at the same time, I need somebody that's knowledgeable enough to call me out when I'm projecting on them.
Right.
And a lot of the other stuff just kind of flows, you know what I'm saying? Interests and stuff. I mean, you're a vegan, I'm not. Well, we can make that work. A little sacrifice here and there.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't mind me, eating a steak. But
That's
some
smart.
people can't.
Yeah,
They're like, oh my God, you killed a cow.
Yeah. And that's a big thing.
Right, it's a big thing. So
Yeah,
I'm saying it
respectfully.
just really depends. So a lot of stuff in my honest opinion, can be worked if you choose to. Some people just have a hard no. And that's cool. But that's the one for me. It's like if you got issues, which we all do.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing about it. Like we talked, I don't know if we talked on video before about mental health and the black when the black and brown community is not really talked about. So a lot of people do have issues and they haven't dealt with their issues. So it's just like, yeah, you fine as hell, but I'm gonna have to let you for the streets.
Yeah. Well, you ain't gotta say the streets. God, man. Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, or just let me toss you back to the sea, or guide you, or walk you back to the you don't have to be
back out to the street. But no, I feel what you're saying. But yeah, that's like, and like I said, with that being, saying a big thing, it's like I was communicating with this one chick, and it was going pretty good. It seemed like, we met social and online, and it was going pretty good. And so we were supposed to link up, and then she was like, she just like bad flaked. So I don't do flake. You flake on me, that's strike one. So I was like, all right, bet. Then she came back like that month. Was like, hey, my bad. Got busy, whatever. And then she was like, actually, there was someone else before you. I want to see where that goes. All right, that's cool. Communication, whatever. Deuces.
Yeah.
So couple weeks, few weeks later, like a month later, what's up? Oh, hell, okay, what's up? What's the deal? She's, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, she really wasn't, once I got to asking the right questions, she realized she was not in a position to be dating.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. She realized that?
Yeah.
Or you realized that?
No, both. Because I'm asking the question because I know, but I just want to hear her say it.
Okay.
She was saying something about the different guys she was dating and, kind of trying to blame it on the guys she was dating. And I was listening. I'm like, okay, there are three different individuals. All right. But there's a common denominator.
Okay.
So maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. You chose them.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? That was like one of the first things I noticed. And I asked a couple more questions. And yeah, long story short, she ain't ready. So as I'm saying, that mental health is major.
Yeah, and that will become evident the more time that you spend and talk to a person.
Depends if you got you just got to ask the right questions.
Well, so I believe too, though, that time is also asking the right questions.
You're right too.
Yes,
Time does tell.
but time is always a true
Yes.
revealer, because the one thing you cannot do is mask your emotional stability. And I say that, yeah, and I say that if number one, if you're paying attention, right, and you're someone who has also done the work or is doing the work on your own,
Mm-hmm.
like mental health and stability, right?
Mm-hmm.
You notice certain things, or behaviors or whatever, or interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if someone says something about like they have a temper, you said temper. That's on my. That's I may
what's
not.
going on there?
Yeah, I may not say anything at that moment,
Mm-hmm.
but that word temper, you use that. So I'm gonna find a way. If it presents itself in that conversation, then I will. But if it doesn't, if you were just telling a story or whatever, then I'll come back to that later. But I'm listening and I'm kind of like, making a little book, putting a pen in that because I do need to come back to that and kind of like see, help you or ask questions to get you to expound on that word temper.
Okay.
Companionship, then you're able to kind of like see things for what they are. Like you mentioned, every encounter isn't to be like, oh, this is my soulmate, or oh, this is who I'm supposed to marry, or you marriage material. Sometimes it's just reason, season, lifetime. And in order to determine what that purpose is for that, that individual in your life or how they've entered your life, sometimes you just gotta let things play how they're gonna play out. Don't try to like force something to happen. Just let things unfold. And that's if you don't already have some suspicions or red flags. I'm not saying be stupid, but if they seem to be a straight up individual and they seem to be, have all their, marbles, so to speak, then just let things happen naturally and organically versus trying to force a square peg into a round hole, because that's when you.
So basically, what you're saying, what I think I hear you saying is, don't go looking for stuff because you will find stuff.
No.
But don't.
You can look for all you want because everybody is different. Some people can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people's personalities, they're so anxious that they kind of like have to know everything.
Right.
Some people aren't okay with like letting things unfold. I'm saying that's what works for me. And I'm also saying that depending on what your purpose of like dating is, and if you really want to get to know that person, just kind of let things happen as they happen. If the person's lying, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, it's gonna come to the light.
So what you're saying is you have to be vulnerable, and there's a good possibility you might get hurt.
Be vulnerable, but be smart at the same time. I'm not saying be stupid either. Like sometimes there are red flags.
What's being
stupid? Not like ignoring red flags. Like if you sit at the table and y'all at a restaurant and the person is rude to the waiter, that's a sign. You shouldn't be rude to people, first of all. But if you're being rude to somebody, my grandma always said, do not be rude to people to fix your food. That does not have common sense, and it shows that you're impolite. Mm-hmm. That's something that tells me something about you. So if I see you being rude to somebody unnecessarily, unwarranted, something that doesn't warrant it in that situation, then yeah, I'm paying attention to that. If you are, I pay attention to how they talk. Like if I'm on the phone with somebody and they're talking to somebody else, like ordering food, I kind of pay attention to how they talk to the person that they're giving the order to, because that shows me how you talk to people. Your like the words that you use. That's another thing too. When I'm like talking to somebody via text, I'm paying attention like grammar. I'm big on it. I don't care. Like I said, I like to write. I like to read. Those things are important to me.
If y'all know me, y'all know I'm not about grammar. I text how I talk.
That's you. But I had somebody literally, say fillet.
What?
Fillet when talking about ordering fish.
Fillet? Instead of filet?
Yes. And it's like, if I only had communicated with him via text all the time, yeah, you can spell fillet all day. But when we were on the phone and he was ordering a fish fillet, I said no.
Or he can spell street, but he say street.
I'm saying those things are important to me.
I feel you.
So again, this is not like a one size fits all. These are just taking note to what's important to you, being true to yourself.
Right.
And, everything else will kind of like...
And own it. Like, if you got this weird thing that it just don't work for you.
Say that.
Own it. That's what you don't like. It is what it is. It don't mean you picky. It don't mean
you like what you like.
It don't mean you shallow. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Because like one thing I didn't like was because certain people like certain things. Period. Point blank. And because you don't like what the norm is or what the norm think you should like, people want to put you in this category of being shallow or picky. I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't like Tony Chachere's. I don't want it on my seasoning at all. I don't want it on any of my chicken. I don't want it on my fish. I don't want it on nothing. That don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean I don't like Tony Chachere's.
Louisiana, and he don't like... That's crazy.
It's an analogy because I see it right here.
I know, but I'm just saying that you should not have used that one.
But okay, so like,
just be real.
Short hair. A guy might not like a chick with short hair.
Okay.
That's his thing. Yeah. He don't like short hair.
Preference.
That's his preference. He want hair shoulder length or down. Hey. He knows what it's gonna take to keep him interested.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Physical attraction to somebody,
right? So, don't try to push somebody and don't try to shame them. Oh my God, but she's so beautiful. She might be beautiful. She might have everything, but she might have short hair, and that he knows that's gonna be a problem for him later on down the road.
I had this guy tell me that he did not think Nia Long was attractive. And I was like, what?
Ooh, what is wrong with him?
But he did not. He was like, he said, I know that, but I understood what he was coming from.
Ooh, that was
he
one
said,
of my crushes.
That's a lot. That's top 5. Right. She's a big, like, especially in the 90s, like, she's a big.
She was in the top 5.
He was like, look, I know that she's attractive. I know why people are attracted to her. I know why she's in people's top 5. Me, personally, I'm not attracted to her.
That's what's up. That's like me. I don't think Aaliyah was all that hot.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion.
And then that's fine.
There, I said it.
That's fine. There are men that I don't find attractive that's like Shamar Moore.
Oh, I can't stand that dude.
That's because he light skinned.
No, he just
wavy hair.
I can't stand that dude.
Yeah, but I don't like
because he light skinned and wavy hair.
But I know that he's an attractive man.
He's annoying.
Now, when you said that about Aaliyah, I just let you say it. I mean, at least I picked somebody that was still living. You just cut right to the deceased. R.I.P. baby girl.
I mean, respect. I love her music. Hey, 4-page letter. Jam it.
Anyway, but like Shamar Moore, I don't see him as attractive, but I know that he's a sex symbol to a lot of women.
Boris Kodojo. Oh, another annoying one.
First of all, that's not that man's name.
What's how you say his last name?
It's Boris Kojo.
Yeah, Kodojo.
I didn't know who the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, Boris Kodojo.
No, that man is fine, but
yeah, he's annoying too. No. But his wife, boy, yeah.
Okay, and they look alike.
They do.
So how do you not like how she looks?
Vanessa Williams is banging. Ooh.
Wait, that is not his wife. What are you doing?
Her name is Vanessa Williams.
No, it's not.
What's her name?
Her name is Nicole Ari Parker.
Oh, dang. Oh, that is right. I'm thinking about Vanessa. But Vanessa Williams and Nicole Ari Parker, they look alike, too. They both light-skinned and green eyes.
Oh, okay. So Michael Ealy look like them, too?
Who?
Michael Ealy.
Michael Ealy. They related? They all
brothers
and sisters or something, huh?
No. That's not my point is, fool, every person with light skin and green eyes
they look alike.
do not look alike.
They do. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. Yeah, just own what you don't like, man. It's cool. That's what you like. That's fine, you know.
Or just or acknowledge what you like. Like, don't try to. It's not necessarily. I'll kind of like judging up what you said. I don't think it's so much as owning to what you like. It's really knowing what you like and not trying to like force something on you because of society says
right.
You should give every person an equal opportunity. Yeah, you shouldn't just be like shaming people because of how they look. I do agree with that. Just like every person
Right.
is individual, God made them how He made them, except God's children. But at the same token, what this child of God has to offer on the physical or internally may not be your cup of tea, and that's okay. But as long as you're aware of that, then what comes your way or what you accept in your life is more to your liking because you didn't like force yourself and onto that because of what people say that you should do.
Peer pressure is real.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who did you say you don't think is like Shamar? Hypothetically, Shamar Moore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know him, and your homegirl know him, and I know that he digging you. I'm like, girl, girl, he's attractive, blah blah. And I just keep trying to
push him off on me,
right? Because in my mind, I think this is there's nothing wrong with him, so
right.
You should. He's a good guy. He helps with the homeless, and he helps with the sheltered animals, and he's a single dad. All this great stuff.
That's wonderful, but it is not wonderful for me.
Right. Exactly. That's my point right there. So just know what you like and be okay with it. Sometimes you gotta tell people no and get out your face.
Yeah, I see something on Twitter today too. It's like, stop asking single people when are they gonna get married. Everybody does not want to be married. Just like every person doesn't want to have kids and or cannot have children, which I think is also a sensitive thing. That's a whole nother conversation. But those are things that I think, because of society, people just, sometimes they don't know what else to say, so they just say anything, and they're like, oh, so when are you going to get married? Or when are you going to have kids? But at the same token, it's like, how do you know this person hasn't really been in love and really tried to get married, but it just didn't work? Or this person really has tried to get pregnant or have a family, but it didn't work, or they can't, or they're, barren. Like, those are questions that I think people, like your friends that are married or they're in relationships don't really, or family, consider sometimes. And it's not me, like I'm not saying that for myself, but just in conversation with other people, I'll thump the hell out of you. Like you just have to be considerate of other people.
I feel you though, yeah. I mean, and I think that's what's really taking place with, like, I guess 2020, the last 10 years or so. A lot of the old ways of us, call them twatties. That's the way we've always done it. Acronym. We're moving away from that, and I'm so happy that I'm not a huge fan of tradition unless it serves a purpose.
Right.
But if we just doing it for the dry sake of tradition, we need to figure out the right way to do this.
Right.
And that's like one of them things, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a different era. That's what it was back in those days, was to get married and have children. So it was the expectation, it was the norm. So when you got married and they saw you two years later, and it's still, saying you're just a couple. So when did you guys expecting? That was a normal thing.
Right.
All right, we're in a whole new era now. That's not normal anymore. I mean, hell, I ain't no real big fan of celebrities, but look at them. They having babies at 40, 50 years old.
Yeah, they are.
Ain't nobody asking them, when we gonna have ain't nobody asking them that.
Yeah.
We surprised like a mug when they all gray and got 5 kids that's under the age of 6. Like, oh man, it's an actor. I forgot his name. But anyways, that's the point though. So just be aware and do you.
Yeah,
respectfully.
Yeah. Like, just do what makes you happy, respectively and consensually. That's important. Definitely want to have consent, and just have fun. Like, honestly, if you can't have fun, then you're probably doing it wrong, or you were in it for the wrong reason.
All right, that's it. Now I get the joy of piecing all this stuff together. You got any last words, Latoya?
No, don't. Nobody jump in my DMs.
That's too late. Your DMs are
No, I'm for real, because I'm not good at responding.
Don't be like her. If somebody texts you, text them back. It's not that hard. It's not. We all have phones. They're in our hands all the time. So just, you know what I'm saying, scroll up, be right back, something, hey, or just tell the truth.
So, you know, sometimes it's not a personal thing. It's more of a personal thing. But yeah.
People make time for what they want to make time for.
That's always true.
So, like we said, you can't ignore the red flags. If they're waving, better pay attention.
Whatever.